5. My brother's heart is transplanted into a young man. Machines keep my brother's organs alive for days. He's declared brain dead. My brother's hand is so warm I think he'll wake up, so I sit and hold my brother's hand. Blackbirds singing in the dead of night. Take these sunken eyes and learn to see. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to be. You jaywalked your way out of the womb. I would recognize you anywhere by the hiccup in your swagger. Tell me, where in the world did you find all that thunder? You were only waiting for this moment to be free. According to the National Institute of Health, only 5.3% of people who struggle with addiction recover and rehabilitate. In 2023, I discovered that my brother would be a part of that large percentage of people who don't recover. We tend to look at trauma from its pinnacle. But in the poem Reverse Overdose, we rewind time and try to figure out how we got here. Poets Sarah Kay, along with Karen McCatton and Linda Pastan, take us through the grieving process for those of us left behind to sing. Opioid Lullabies, a program about acceptance and grief. I rush to the hospital. My brother's lips are blue and he's not asleep. His roommate calls 911 and she thinks that he's asleep, but really he's falling off the wagon. And he tells her that he needs to meet a friend, but desperate men swap heroin for fentanyl. So she heads out to the clinic. His neck hurts and all the methadone is out his system. Your compass always points north. But it's a bit of a crapshoot as to whether or not you'll ever actually walk in that direction. I like that about you. It keeps people on their toes. On the merry-go-round of your life, the carousel ponies are all narwhals. Their horns point straight up. And the day they build you a constellation, it'll be the entire F train spread across the Milky Way. The night I lost you, someone pointed me towards the 5 stages of grief. Go that way, they said, it's easy. Like learning to climb stairs after an amputation. And so, I climbed. Denial was first. I sat down at breakfast, carefully setting the table for 2. I passed you the toast, and you sat there. I passed you the paper, and you hid behind it. 4. It's morning. And he's a good dad. I mean, he rides his bike for miles to see his son every weekend. I try to get him into a shelter, but he can't afford the train across the city. But he comes clean. I try to save him when he's homeless once, and he comes clean. He rides his bike to see his son. Until the summer, he loses custody. Or his wife kicks him out because she's into someone else. Or his wife kicks him out because she is high, but he comes clean. And they have a baby boy. But they are high and low. And high and low and high and low and high and low. A photo of him as the handsomest man I have ever seen, but why? Why don't I recognize him? Listen, My brother is a ghost, and I keep thinking I am not a brother anymore, and people keep trying to assure me that I am. Anger seemed more familiar. I burned the toast, snatched the paper, and read the headlines myself. But they mentioned your departure, and so I moved on to bargaining. 3. He marries a beautiful junkie. He's high all the time. He goes to jail for selling 40 pounds of pot in a suitcase. The police come while we are watching SNL. The police come while he is high. But what could I exchange for you? The silence after storms, my typing fingers, but before I could decide, depression came puffing up. A poor relation, its suitcase tied together with string. And in the suitcase were bandages for the eyes and bottles of sleep. I slid all the way down the stairs, feeling nothing. 2. He steals our grandmother's silver dollars, breaks in through our windows and skylights, and takes whatever else he can find, so our parents kick him out. He grows pot in his closet, so our parents call the cops. 1. A photo of him waving on a picnic table, wearing a bow tie and a bow on his head. He holds my fingers and tries to walk. I meet my new baby brother. No one will let me have my sadness or tally what I've lost. I make lists like recipes on how to go on alone. I draw your death when I doodle, making little crime scenes as if this epidemic were a murderer, a suspect, a criminal. But you are not a criminal. You are my favorite stick of dynamite. You are the opposite of any rubber band, and there are so many things I would have told you if I thought that you would listen. And so many more you would have told me if you thought that I would understand. So, after a year, I am still climbing. And though my feet may slip on your stone face, the tree line has long since disappeared. Green is a color that I have forgotten, and now I see what I'm climbing towards. Acceptance, written in big, bold letters. And when I get there, I'll sing you a song. Blackbird, fly into the light of the dark black night. 0.